What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? This is your boy Chef Don Don. Y'all already know what to do. Y'all already know what to do. We are here to review the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But before we get into any of that, y'all already know what you are supposed to do. Make sure that you do like this video and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Y'all already know only about 10 to 15% of our subscribers actually get our notifications. So please, please, please make sure that you have your notifications set for the channel. Okay, please make sure you're following me on all social media platforms, and like this video, y'all. We are still celebrating 3K subscribers. So with that being said, if you would like to bless the Cash App, you may do so at Chef Don Don 2 or via Venmo at Chef Don Don 2 as well. All blessings are greatly appreciated and welcomed here on the channel. Okay, so I appreciate you all. Listen, let's get into this episode of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We are going to probably be bouncing around when it comes to this review for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but I'm fit to give y'all exactly how I feel about this, and I ain't letting up on anybody's neck. Okay, period. I'm gonna play my introduction and we're gonna get right into the tea. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. So just we gonna get into this episode of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We are on season 12. I have given my review on what I thought about season 12 and what I thought about the housewives. So we have 8 full-time housewives and 2 friend ofs. Of course, we know Kathy Hilton to be a friend of, as well as Cherise Zampino, which is Will Smith's ex-wife. She was supposed to be a friend to Garcelle. I already kind of gave y'all my thoughts on how I feel about her being Garcelle's friend. I felt like she wasn't really truly a friend. But that's besides the point. Let's get into the episode. Give me just a moment, guys. Okay, y'all, I apologize about that. I was having some technical difficulties, but okay, let's get into this episode here really quick. The first part of the reunion. Okay, so first part of the reunion, of course, ladies come out, and one thing I did notice, and I don't know if you guys picked up on this as well, but last season, we had Kathy Hilton out the entire time, right? We didn't get Kathy Hilton the entire time of this particular episode, so I found that to be very, very interesting, to say the least. You know what I mean? So that was interesting. That was interesting. So, getting into the episode. So, what really stood out to me in this episode, we talked about Crystal, and we talked about The fact that she said that the comment that Sutton made was super, super dark, right? And she said, and they, production played a flashback where she said that it was so dark. There was a lot more that was said that was dark, or whatever the case may be. She went on Watch What Happens Live and re-insinuated that again, right? So I feel like in this episode, the first part of the reunion, she had to justify where she felt like that from. In my personal opinion, y'all, Crystal poorly performs at every reunion thus far. She performed poorly last year's reunion, and she's performing poorly at this year's reunion as well. And I'm not really sure what it is and why. You know what I'm saying? But it's really strange, and quite haven't put my finger on it. But we did get into that. We got into where they were discussing the fact about Crystal, having the issues with the eating disorder, right? I know a couple of people who deal with the eating disorder. I didn't realize it was as and I don't really want to say as bad, but I didn't realize that it was like that until kind of seeing it and her bringing awareness to it on camera. So I feel like the eating disorder it's a real thing, and I do think that it needs to be addressed because it is something that is in a lot of people's lives, like the eating disorder. So she kind of confronted Dorit because Dorit had told the ladies that she had been throwing up. She possibly had been purging allegedly and different things like that. So I felt like in that particular moment, Dorit said that she assumed that it was okay to talk about it, considering what conversations that they probably have already had amongst the group. They were already talking about it amongst the group. So I think she felt like talking about it wasn't a big deal, and it wasn't really telling any type of secrets or anything because, again, it was brought up in the group already, right? So we talk about Queen Garcelle in this very moment, right? And we talk about how she definitely thought somebody was behind the box amongst the cast that attacked her 14-year-old son, Jax, right? Shout out to them. I believe their birthday was Monday, Tuesday. So shout out to them and happy birthday to them, Jax and Jade. Those are Garcelle's 15-year-old sons, but at the time of the taping and at the time of this, they were definitely 14. But going into this reunion and just addressing certain things that I feel like some things were skated over, and then I also feel like some things were really talked about. So we also talked about Jamie Lee Curtis came out. She, she was on an episode where Dorit thought that everything that Jamie Lee Curtis had for her foundation was so chic. It was chic. It was chic. It was chic. And so, y'all, Jamie Lee Curtis has had a career in the Halloween movie series, as well as Kyle Richards. So her and Kyle Richards are friends because they played in Halloween. Now, I believe this is the last Halloween. This is the end. I'm not really into horror movies, so I'm not really into the whole Halloween thing. But I know that there are a lot of people that are. So Jamie Lee Curtis to Beverly Hills Housewives is what Beverly Hills Housewives is to us as regular people. You know what I mean? Same like with Nicki Minaj and Potomac, right? They loved it because you have someone else from a different dynamic that you may not know that you actually share the same passions or you share the same enjoyments. I feel like finding out that they watched the show and they're a part of the show, I thought was pretty dope. So okay, so let's get into they touch on the robbery as figured. I'm kind of glad they touched on the robbery and got it out of the way at the first part of this reunion, because I wouldn't be one to really want to really hear much about the robbery. Listen, I am so glad that Dorit and her children are safe in this particular case, but I just honestly, throughout the season, I felt like we were going to drag with that, and I'm kind of glad that once we stopped hearing about it, it was over. And not necessarily meaning over for her, but over in the sense where we don't really have to hear about it anymore. Because a lot of people had their feelings, whether they thought it was planned, whether they thought it was a scheme set up by Todd to come at us with the bull. We didn't know what it was, but we just saying, okay. All right. So Jamie Lee Curtis tells them that she renamed her foundation the Chicest and all of that kind of stuff. So again, we pin over to Dorit. Dorit is crying about the robbery, and we talk about the robbery and all that kind of stuff. We go back into another segment where we begin to talk of where we get Diana on the screen. And listen. Miss Mama Garcelle said at BravoCon, do not ask me no questions about her because I'm not even going to address her by her name. She does not, she didn't want to have any parts to do with her, like anything to do with her. She was done with it. Okay. Like, get away from me because you keep coming over here playing with me, and this is not what we're gonna do. Okay. Um, So yeah, I really felt the way about that particular part. And I'm it was longer than I wanted it to be. All right. So moving on into a little bit more of the reunion. So we get into Crystal, and Crystal having to defend the fact that she got to watch What Happens Live and said whatever Sutton said was dark. And we really needed to know what that was because we're out here defending and windmilling for Garcelle and Sutton's friendship. And if you're saying you're leaving it open for anybody's perception to be what it is, right? Anybody's perception was to be the fact that you were initially saying that she could have been saying something racist. And if she said something racist, Garcelle is a black queen. And if that's your friend, we need to know what you said, sis. We need to know you being a white woman because what she said about the friends being in the pool was one thing. But if you out here saying something dark and racist, then we got to address that. And I feel like Crystal wasn't really understanding, and I don't care what nobody say. The way that she responded to that was completely whack. A lot of people felt in that particular moment that Andy was being, super, super shady in that moment. But how I felt about Andy in that particular moment was, even if he was being shady, there still was a sense of she did not answer the question. And you went on Watch What Happens Live, and you said after he said, was the pool thing the dark thing that you're referring to? She said no. She said that there was something much more darker. And I'm totally agreeing with what Garcelle said in that moment, and everything that Garcelle said in that moment is actually true. Okay. All right. So we let me see here. All right. So we're talking about Diana and the threatening text that she allegedly had sent. I felt like I could totally be wrong, but if I can remember correctly, when Andy asked Renna why Renna spoke out against the bots coming at Garcelle's son, I kind of side-eyed that moment because I was thinking to myself, didn't you delete that tweet or that Instagram post or the fact that you put it on your Instagram stories? If there's actually a cause that we're actually speaking out on and we have a reason to speak out on something, why in the world are we posting it to our stories knowing that expires 24 hours later? I feel like that's a punk move. Like everything that Lisa Rinna did this season, even when she came at the Dubai women, it was punk moves. Like, why are we doing that? Like, I really don't understand that. I don't understand it at all. Um, so Andy asked Garcelle if she thought that anybody on the cast was responsible for the bots, and she said honestly, she did, and she kind of assumed that it was Diana, but she has an investigation open. I don't know if we're going to find out necessarily what happened during that investigation, if we're going to have to wait the next season to find out, or we may possibly be able to find out maybe after the third part of the reunion airs. Maybe she's just trying to make sure that the reunion airs first. Okay. So um they talk about Dorit and PK and Kyle and Mauricio swapping and all kind of stuff like that. I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? But we could possibly be wrong. They were talking about the hugs and all of that kind of stuff. The three-way hug was what set that rumor off, but that rumor has been around even before the robbery took place. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I guess it is what it is. Um, but I'm still side eyeing that situation and all of that. So again, we talked about Crystal's issue. Now, this is what I will say. I will say this too. I wouldn't let Kyle eat me up in the reunion. Kyle ate Crystal up in the first part of the reunion, even when it came to the whole 14 friends things. Now, she's saying that the 14 friends thing that she's saying is about the show. It does have something to do with the show. I kind of took that as, friends may come and go when you get new avenues in life. Friends come and go. So I kind of felt like that is what she was trying to say there. But they literally ate Crystal up at this reunion as Erica ate her up last reunion. And what I mean by eating her up is it seems like she never has a response to anything that they say. I don't know. I'm just saying, child. I'm just saying. Listen, please, please, please make sure you like the video. Please make sure you're liking the video. We are recapping the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. This is part 1 and part 2 that we are reviewing. Okay, part 1 and part 2 we are reviewing, and I'm doing it in one video form. For multiple reasons. Okay, so whew. Give me just a second. I'm trying to get my notes pulled up here. Okay. Getting my notes pulled up here. I don't know how it closed out. All right. So moving on into the reunion. So now we get Diana on the TV screen. Now let me tell y'all something. We definitely know Diana is one and done. Diana said that she was sick, but Twitter was ablaze. They picked up the fact that she, came to that taping and she got makeup and stuff done, and they didn't have no mask or nothing on at all. But anyway, Kyle and Crystal seem like they'll never get it together. They'll never get it together. They'll always go back and forth. Now, I do wish that that is the reason why Crystal will return, so that they can continue to go back and forth, because I feel like that they need it. And the reason being, she keep calling her a millennial, so I really want to know what Kyle really thinks about that whole millennial thing. Give me another season and get them going back and forth. Give it to me real. Like, I'm just saying. But yeah, I find that to be weird with Crystal and Kyle. Okay, so back to Diana. So Diana, she's of course saying that she has an investigation that is currently open right now, to figure out who the bots are and to figure out what the bots are doing and all this and that. Garcelle feels a way about her because she still continues to talk about and discuss her online and different stuff like that. She still kind of throws slugs, subliminals to Garcelle online. We also know that Diana Jenkins has sent out cease and desist to YouTubers as well as podcasters for discussing her book online or anything like that. Child, I don't discuss the book because I wouldn't even read it. So it's like, she is definitely going to be like the fastest one and done housewife that we've ever had to deal with in the last 16, 17, 18 years, however long the housewives have been around. girl, you have definitely been the one that is definitely a good one and done. Cause you 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 are pathetic. You're pathetic. Y'all know that she also had the issue where she Philly Diva, who is on Instagram, Philly Diva. I actually had started seeing Philly Diva in other content creators chats. She was saying that it must be hard to be a black content creator, right? She tried to say that she associated with the fact of being dark or being negative, versus being an actual black skin tone, skin color content creator. She said it had nothing to do with the skin tone, but no one took it that way. Even Crystal said that she called Diana up and immediately asked her, although she did defend her by saying that she knew that she didn't understand after a certain point. So, I just I don't know. Uh I don't know. Anyway, Diana is really trying to prove the fact that she's not behind the bots and all of that kind of stuff. Andy did ask Diana if she's linked to Jeffrey Epstein. She said that it's an old picture, that it couldn't actually be physically possible because she was a refugee back in the 90s and all kind of stuff. I'm done with Diana. I am sick of her. And so I definitely agree when Garcelle says, leave me alone. Like, sis, leave me alone. We're done with you. You bring nothing to this show. Nothing to this show. I saw an interview where someone said that she's a perfect housewife. What? I don't get it. I don't understand. She also paid some of the alleged victims of Tom Girardi as well. And they asked her, how did Erica feel about that? Erica said that she felt like it was great. And I feel like if you felt like that was great, then you should be able to also show sympathy to the victims in regards to what you're dealing with. Like, let's just be honest. Let's be honest. So, anyway, that's pretty much how the first part of the reunion goes in regards to this. So, let's kind of move over into the second part of the reunion. So the second part of the reunion, they begin to discuss. They're still discussing Diana and Jax, and so Garcelle is telling Diana that she literally wants her to leave her alone. Y'all, please make sure you like this video as you come in. Please, please, please. But yeah, she wants her to leave her alone, right? And she's saying, can you please leave me alone? Can you please leave Jax alone? Because Jax, let me tell you something. Before I start with this particular episode, I was really hurt by Andy, and I really feel like we have to call Andy out because there was a lot of points in this particular episode in part two that I felt like he brushed over, and it's just not one of those things that we gonna brush over. We're gonna get into it, okay? We're gonna get into it. Okay. All right. So again, this reunion starts. I mean, this part two starts off with Diana talking about Jackson, the lawsuit that she allegedly has um, on figuring out who the bots are. Andy was trying to understand who the lawsuit was against, right? So in this particular setting, Andy begins to ask Diana questions about Sutton, right? And because Diana is so pressed and obsessed with Garcelle, she feels like she can still take digs at Garcelle, and she's still coming at Garcelle. Like, it's real selfish. It's real ignorant. It's not. In other words, it definitely gives obsession. It gives that what Garcelle is saying, how she's feeling in this particular moment. What she's saying is very valid because you are given obsessed. So you're like, you can't talk about anything else. We're talking about your relationship with Sutton, not anything that has to do with Garcelle. Garcelle also feels like, and I also feel like this too, but she feels like if you come at her kids, you come at her kids, you come at her life and stuff like that. They were sending her Playboy pictures and all of that stuff to her kids. That was a way to get her off of the show. Okay. So it's a lot. It was a lot. Okay, so Garcelle pretty much tells Diana that she wasn't the one that caused her solace. She says Sutton was the one that called her solace, right? So they reiterate that Sutton was the one that called her solace. Diana again, she's just not there. Sutton says that she doesn't have anything to clear up about their non-existent relationship. They don't have a relationship. Okay, they don't have a relationship at all. Anyway, again, we find out about the lawsuit. We find out about the lawsuit. So then we go on break. Rena is talking about how honest she's gonna be. Um, Sutton tells Garcelle that she has her back, and Garcelle is talking about how strong she is. She's taking it from every hit and every angle, and such, right? Erica then talks about PK and that she knew about PK before he married Dorit. I thought that was completely irrelevant. We didn't need to know that at all, right? Now, Andy then asked Diana about the "see you next Tuesday" word versus the actual evil word, and they're saying that the evil word is worse, right? Now, if you look at that clip and you look at that clip really close, you will see that Dorit was agreeing with the fact that the "see you next Tuesday" word was worse, but based off of everybody else's answer and everybody else's opinion, she changed up what she actually said. Now you got to pay really close attention because you will see that. Like I was like, okay, to read, like, is you still a part of this Fox Force 5? I felt like at some point you got out of it. Now here we are back again, back to square one, with you with the Fox Force flunkies and the flowers, whatever they supposed to be, child. We sick of it, Dorit. We sick of it. Andy again, he was asking the ladies about it. And so of course Sutton and Garcelle had one answer, and everybody else had the answer that evil was so much worse. They weren't the ones, and again, remember if we think back in that scene when Diana called her that, and then Erica agreed, everybody kind of like sniggled and laughed about it, and nobody spoke up or said anything except for Garcelle. Like I felt like, come on. But nobody wants to be called that word. And I feel like if any of those other ladies were called that word per Garcelle or Sutton, it would be a big issue, just like Garcelle said. Just like Garcelle said, it would be a super, super huge issue. And I'm just not here for it. I'm also not here for Andy. Andy, stand on what you believe in. Like, if you feel like that word is worse, they can't persuade you into your opinion thinking that evil is worse than the "see you next Tuesday" word. Come on, man. Like, at some point, when are you going to like think about these things? Like being a host, you the people gonna be on your neck, and that you definitely not gonna like it. And I know Andy doesn't like bloggers or whatever the case may be, but child, you could have done better. Okay, okay, so now let's talk about, we talked about the hug, the three-way hug and all of that kind of stuff. We get Garcelle's package where Garcelle has the beach homes. You know, she's a mom. She's doing the real at the time. At the time, also too, she is filming for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She's going through all this stuff with her son, so she's going through a lot at this particular moment. And they pretty much talk about everything that she has going on. Okay, so then they talk about, the beach home, where they are with the beach home and all of that kind of stuff, right? So then we go into we talk about Garcelle's book, right? And this is where I have a huge, huge problem. And this is where I gotta call Andy out, I gotta call Rena out, and I gotta call Erica out in this particular situation. Then also I'm gonna share something else with you guys. So in this particular uh in this particular scene, as far as the reunion goes, it's the Garcia's book is being brought up, and Andy starts off saying that Garcelle had an issue with Bill Cosby. She addressed the issue that she had with Bill Cosby, right? So then she goes into the fact that um, uh, Erica throwing Andy goes into the fact of Erica throwing away the book, right? So it's revealed, and if you look closely and you look at the scene, you'll see Erica look down on the couch, waiting for Rena to be honest and say that she was the one that actually, um, she was the one that actually threw the book away, right? Now, this I have an issue here. I have an issue here, and we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. Please like the video, okay? The number one thing that I want to know is who's in that group, right? Who's in that group? Is it just Erica and Rena in that group? I don't think we thought about that. I don't think we thought about that. Who else is in that group to know that Rena was the actual one to throw the book away and not Erica, right? Someone on Twitter was like, "Are y'all gonna apologize to Erica finding out that she wasn't the one that threw the book away?" What are we apologizing for? Because she still fed into the narrative of the book being thrown away. So we're apologizing for that. We're apologizing for the narrative that you wanted to portray that you were the one that actually threw the book away. I don't understand. Like you threw the book away. So I had to like retweet and like, what are we apologizing for? I mean, what are we apologizing for? Um, so anyway, we found out that the reason why Rena threw the book away was because Amelia, which is Lisa Rinna's daughter, was brought up in the book. Again, she was explaining her experience. Garcelle was explaining her experience. We also found out that that part of the book has also been taken out and they have squashed the issue. But I feel like you didn't squash the issue because you still went along with the narrative that you threw the book away and that Erica was the one that threw the book away when you guys knew the truth. Like, if this doesn't teach you guys that Lisa Rinna is dirty and conniving, and yes, I said it. And when Kathy Hilton comes out and reads her for filth, everything that Lisa Rinna gets, she deserves. Okay, because you knew that you wasn't the one who threw. I mean, you knew that you was the one that threw the book away. And here is Erica over here. Y'all want us to apologize to Erica? What are we apologizing to Erica for? I felt so bad for Garcelle in this particular moment because it was like she didn't have any backup, like any backbone. Now, granted, she's been holding her own, but this was nasty. Like, I was not here for it. I wanted them to be held to the fire, but it's like they get away with so much. Lisa Rinna and Dorit and Kyle, like they get away with so much. We really are like, who else is in this group? Because that means that you saw the video. Kyle, are you in this group? Dorit, are you in this group? Because we clearly know Garcelle and Sutton is not in the group because you told us that you sent the video in the group. So I mean, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Y'all gotta let me know how y'all feel. Please like this video as you come in the room. Please, please, please like this video as you come in the room. But yeah, who? I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. And here goes Andy. Well, you took a lot of X for Renner. No, that's not what that was. Like, let's call it out. Let's call it out. Erica did this to try to make Renner look good, right? And then here Renner is throwing it up and letting us know now that she was the one that was behind it. Like, come on, Andy, you do no, you no longer need to host the reunions. Like, it is so irritating. It is so irritating. They also bring up Lisa Vanderpump. Erica brings up Lisa Vanderpump, you know, about her breast smell like garlic and Chardonnay and all this kind of stuff. And I'll be like, girl, you need to be worried about if you can get some Chardonnay and all of it. just be quiet. Erica can go at this point, y'all. Like, I'm really tired of Erica, and it has nothing to do with her legal woes. It's just the person that she is. Like, and Renna too. Like, Renna, I don't think Renna's going anywhere. I shared Mim's video that he did in regards to Renna. She was booed, as well as people were accepting her and loving her as well during BravoCon. So I kind of feel like also that we're not going to get rid of Lisa Renna. I feel like the only way that Lisa Renna would be out of the housewife arena is if she doesn't get what she wants out of the network as far as pay. But I don't see Lisa Rinna going anywhere. Lisa Rinna brings in ratings for the network and all of that. But again, I have to stand with Garcelle because I don't like the way they treated Garcelle. I don't like any of it. I feel like like we gotta hold these women to the fire. We gotta hold their feet to the fire. Like y'all allow them to get away with so much, and to me, it's unsettling and uneasy for me. And I'm just not quite sure I understand where this is going to go. I'm not sure where this is going to go because it's very damaging here. Again, y'all, I don't know if we're going to find out who's behind the bots when the new season comes out, or if we're going to find out after the reunion. I don't even know if that particular part of the investigation has been complete for us to at least find out who did it. But it'll be really interesting to find out everything that has to do with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. How do you feel like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is going? Like, we are going to get part 3 that's coming up Wednesday. I'm super excited about it because we're going to get the epic Kathy Hilton reads to Lisa Rinna. Um, Seeing how Kyle is treating Crystal, I don't feel sorry for Kyle. And also, too, they brought up how Kyle has, put her hands on Sutton and kind of did what she did to Sutton. And she keeps saying that her behavior that night was wrong, right? They also bring up, Andy brings up the fact that Erica did apologize to Jax for cussing Jax out or whatever the case may be. Garcelle also said that she felt a certain way about that because she felt like Dorit didn't say anything besides the fact that his mom came to get the flowers, right? So again, I feel like Erica defended that by saying that she didn't have any malintent behind it. You don't have to have any malintent behind talking to my kid crazy. Okay. I understand that you were enjoying yourself based off of the drinks that you had, but we have to come to some type of accountability when you talk to my kids. And when you tell my kids get the F out of here, we got something to talk about. Like that, there's no way possible you get to talk to my kids like that. Garcelle done an interview because a lot of people were saying that Garcelle shouldn't have her kids at her party. Y'all cannot tell anybody who to have at their party. It could be a whole family thing, the reason why they're there. Garcelle cleared that up and said that where she's from, she is Haitian. She said that they never had been separated. They were at their mom's birthday parties, etc. They've never been separated, so it's a part of her culture. It's part of her lifestyle. Like she just doesn't see it any other way. And I feel like people should be able to respect that because it really ain't your decision whether her kids are there or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, we I feel like sometimes we really take things to a different level when it comes to that. All right. Now, Andy also brings up Lisa Renna's behavior on social media, right? And how she acted on social media. And the funny thing about this is she wanted to blame this on the fact that Lois passed away. And we've been saying this all season. Rest in peace to Lois. Rest in peace to Lois. But you were acting like that before Lois passed away. So you can't say that the grief is the reason why you're acting the way that you're acting. Grief also, although you sometimes when you're grieving and people do grieve differently, you may lash out at somebody. But to continue to do it over and over and over again. And Andy asked her, what did Lois think about how you was? And so she said that Lois always supported her, which is what a mom typically does, right? A mom is always going to typically support their child in that particular manner. So I sort of understood that. But I mean, girl, I would be embarrassed of Lisa Rinna. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But I don't. Well, I do have sympathy and empathy for her losing her mom because I've been there and I know what that feels like. I don't have sympathy and empathy for the lashing out at people, and it seems like you do it on camera, so it's like you're aware and you're seeing what you're doing. So I don't like the fact that you're blaming that on the death of your mom. Like I didn't like that. I felt like that was a cop out, and again, it's a way to take the heat off of you. So that's how I felt about that. Okay. Um. Okay. Hold on, guys. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. While I do understand what it feels like to be a mom, to lose a mom. I mean, okay. Um, Sutton says that she regrets, saying that she put out fires that she put out fires as well that day that Kyle was playing in a Halloween movie, crying, looking through the window. Kyle talking about the Crystal being dramatic. Kyle is dramatic. Kyle is dramatic. Okay. Kyle is definitely dramatic. The ladies feel like they can't be good friends. They say that Garcelle thinking that the bots were behind or in the group, that it was dividing the group. I don't think it divided the group. Them text messages and that group message that Garcelle nor Sutton is in is what's dividing the group. Okay, let's be very clear about it. Again, I don't really know where this next season is going to go in terms of the dynamics of the friendships. If all of these ladies come back, with the exception of Diana, it would definitely be interesting to see how everybody reacts, how everybody interacts with each other. I'm super excited about it. I guess I would say the least. I'm excited about part three of the reunion. I'm excited to see what um I'm excited to see what goes on here. I'm sick of the Fox Force. I'm sick of it. I'm hope that the dynamic literally breaks up and there's no repair. Cause it's annoying. It's annoying. Okay. But anyway, y'all, this is my short review for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, part one and part two. Please, please, please make sure that you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Thank you for the 3K subscribers. You guys are absolutely amazing. We are actually at 3,100 subscribers on the channel, and I can't do this without you. The more that you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel, it pushes us up in the algorithm. That way, our Bravo content is still pushing so that everyone can see it. Okay. Again, y'all, I appreciate y'all so much. But y'all cannot leave this without liking this video, okay? Please make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. Like this video, share. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section about how you feel about this season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. How do you feel about this reunion? Again, I want to send love and a shout out to Garcelle in this. Garcelle definitely held it down. I saw someone say in my chat the other day that they felt like Garcelle was a flip flopper. I don't feel like that from Garcelle. But again, y'all, let me know what you think down in the comment section. Hey, hey, hey. All right, I appreciate y'all again. Again, this is a review and recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 12, Reunion, Part 1 and Part 2. Period. All right, until the next one, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.